recording? Alright. On three, we sync. Ready? 3, 2, 1, sync. Brock, you didn't say sync.
I thought you were saying it.
Was I supposed to say it?
Well,
What?
we both have to fucking say it or else it doesn't work.
So we have to do that again?
Okay, let's try it again.
Okay, just take two. Take two, baby.
3, 2, 1, sync.
Sing.
Alright, you was a little bit after me, but this can work.
So is this the official start time?
Alright, yeah. So now when I say 3, 2, 1, we're actually starting. Alright.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
You know what this is? What is it? You should know. I'm not gonna stop till you give me an answer. I'll put it right up to the microphone if you don't give me an answer.
Ain't that Metallica?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just leave it on.
It's Primus.
Oh, sorry
Those damn blue collar
Oh, jeez.
tweakers.
It won't turn off. I guess I just have to let it sit there. I just want to hear that little splash symbol. So, it is a special episode today because my laptop's got 10 minutes left before it's dead. So that's fun. But we have a special guest with us.
Back for a third time. It's Brock.
You know me, you love me, you want to buy gloves for me. My Amazon wish list is not available for public viewing because fuck Jeff Bezos. I hope the next time he goes to space he stays there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why is it that people don't like Jeff Bezos and want him to stay out in outer space exactly?
Well, because if he stays out in space, then not only can we steal all his stuff because he loses his human rights because he's not on Earth anymore, but we also get to laugh at him and call him the bald space bitch or something. We'll have to workshop it. We'll have to find like a good name, like Space Baldity or
The Balding?
something to that effect. Some sort of name. Like with Bill Gates, when Bill Gates got divorced, like I was trying to think of a good joke to make there, and all I could think of was like Bill Gates covering Eminem's window pane, where he's like, "Now I get to leave water out the window. Guess that's why they call it Windows pane," or some dumb shit like that. I don't know.
Everything all right, Brock? No.
Basically, I just want to fight a rich person in a live leak video. That's where it's at.
Live leak video. Well, no, because I've been hearing that when Bezos went into outer space, that people were saying he should stay out there, and I'm like, I mean, is it why? Just because he's absolutely rich? I guess I get that, but did he do something? Did he make a comment that people didn't like? Is Saint Anger his favorite Metallica album? Like, why do people want him to stay in outer space?
He makes his workers in the warehouses work so crazy tight shifts that, like, basically your options are, work in excruciating pain, duck into a washroom for, like, a 10-second speed run, or piss yourself while working on the job, and all three of those things, seem pretty shitty to me as far as working conditions go. Like, basically, they give them the equivalent of, like, a little, handheld thing where it's like, you need to pick up this package from this part of the warehouse. Get to it, buddy. And, like, the thing's got a little countdown on it. So, like, if you don't get to it in 10 seconds from the other side of this massive warehouse, you get minus 15 Bezos social credit points. And the warehouse staff all gather in a circle around you and beat you with Amazon-branded pool noodles to inflict physical harm on you that won't disable you to stop you from doing the job, but will remind you of your place in the social order. Beneath the gold stars, the overachievers of the warehouse, and of course everybody's beneath Baldy in the hierarchy.
Everything all right, Brock?
Well, you can't fucking run to the one side of the warehouse because you're slipping on the piss.
Well, they don't even give diapers out. It'd
Everyone,
slow it down.
Well, Stone, I know you're super into crinkling, so I know
crinkling? No, seriously, what's crinkling?
It's oh my fucking god, Poncho. It's that fetish that some people have where they're like, oh, I love to walk around in diapers, and I love the crinkling sound when I walk around in diapers.
But you don't soil the diaper; you just walk around.
You can. That's
okay.
Optional.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't worn a diaper since I was really young.
I may be alienating a potential part of the audience here, but fuck that.
I just checked it. We have 62 subscribers. We had 63 like 2-3 weeks ago, so we lost somebody.
Must have been all the belittling LOLs and LMAOs.
It was all the Jeff Bezos fans that we just lost. Probably all 3 of them. But hey, you know what? That means we'd have 59. So we gotta start sucking up here, guys.
How can we never talked about Jeff Bezos until this episode, and this is not even out yet.
But
we're recording it right now.
Are you really gonna cut this part out?
No.
Of course not. In fact, you're probably.
There's nothing bad about
it. Wait. You titled the last episode.
Yes. So now you title the next.
Well, why doesn't Brock?
Brock can name the next episode.
Yeah,
this
Brock.
episode.
Brock, you towards the end of the episode, I'm not sure how Alex feels about it, but I like talking about what we're gonna title the podcast while we're recording. So yeah, you get to name this podcast.
Okay, well, we'll see where it goes, and then I'll be thinking about a thematic name.
Honestly, if you just called it Jeff Bezos, I think that'd be good enough. Because people would definitely be like,
Alex, I'm gonna order some food you're not eating. We're kind of recording right now.
You know the movie John Tucker Must Die? We could do Jeff Bezos Must Die.
if we replace die with must get his Burger King coupons examined, I mean, that's what I would do. Also,
yeah, I guess YouTube is stringent on things you can title things. They'll be like, "You're bullying him. Stop. You're being so mean. He's gonna go home and cry on his $1 billion pillow."
$1 billion pillow? What do you think the most expensive pillow in the world is?
Zane's Korok pillow.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say his Cleveland Brown pillow. I was gonna be like, no, that shit was only like $35.
$35? That's still pretty expensive.
A giant scale house-sized buck cube.
The Bup Cube.
The Bup Cube.
The Bup Cube. Have you seen the Bup Cube, Stone?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. What is this thing?
It's the Bup Cube.
But what is a Bup Cube?
So it's the many faces of Toad from Mario Party 2.
Oh, I never played Mario Party 2.
That's fair.
Or maybe I did, and I played one of the first 3 games one time. I don't remember. I don't think it was 2. Ah, where'd you get it from?
Dion.
Wow.
He gave it to me. He bought it, and then he was like, I have no more need for this. And now he gave it to me. And every day on Twitter, from now on, I'm going to do the daily Bup Cube roll.
The daily Bup Cube. That's funny. I was going to bring you a CD and give it to you, but I forgot it at my house. So I'll have to do it later tonight.
Alright, and today it landed on Pirate. So congratulations, Sailor. You made it to Friday.
Whoops. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go.
Ahoy, Sponge Boy me Bob.
Sponge Boy.
It's time to kill Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Mr. Krabs would want to take out Jeff Bezos. He's the competition. He'd
No.
be like, Jeff Bezos? That bastard's opened a second Amazon warehouse next to me for Krusty Krab. This insult can't go unpunished, Mr. Squidward.
No.
Whatever you say, Mr. Krabs.
No,
Should I grab your 22?
Even funnier, no, it'd be like he'd be that police officer from Detroit Become Funny. He'd be like, "You fucking cocksucker," and clock him in the jaw.
What? They're into crinkling. Not on my watch. That's what it would say. And then everybody would go, what's crinkling?
I love that SpongeBob episode where Squidward got into crinkling. That was really cool. That was my favorite episode.
But again, if the diaper's soiled or not soiled, that's a huge factor. Let's face it.
Factor.
If someone walks around with a diaper that's, nothing's in it, it's totally fine. If it's soiled, that makes it way worse.
Okay, you say it's totally fine.
Compared to if it's soiled or shit
Well,
himself.
No, I'm not saying.
Put your hand down. This is not even enough open for conversation. If
But
it's not
wait.
soiled, it's not that bad. There are
He's
worse
still wearing
things.
a diaper, dude.
There's still way worse things. Let's not pretend seeing a guy, you go to your local Target to buy some deodorant and you see a guy walking around in diapers. Let's not pretend that's the worst thing you could see.
Why would you go to Target for deodorant?
I don't know. I live next to a Target. It's a nice store. In fact,
It is a nice store.
I went to Target yesterday, but it's at PV Mall.
You pay a little bit more so you don't have to go to Walmart. Now, Walmart's where you'd see a guy crinkling.
But even then, that's not the worst or creepiest thing you'd see in a Walmart. It just isn't.
To desperately try to pull a trolley experiment on this thread of conversation and divert it from the diaper conversations into a whole other ball of wax.
Okay.
An interesting fact that I got for you about Target is that there was a chain of Target stores that they tried to open in Canada for a while there, and within a year they all folded.
It was Jeff Bezos.
Target tried to open shop here and they fucked it up. They couldn't keep them all open. Within a year, every one of them closed.
Well, that's really weird because, like, do you know the reason why? Were people just like, fuck that, red's my least favorite color, and they just didn't go, or?
Oh, I can tell you exactly why it happened. It's not a long story, but I'll try to condense it into as short a series of points as I can.
All right, just don't take 20 minutes.
Basically, they made it so that they were trying to market it like they would market to an American audience. And gotta be real with you, the way Canadians shop and the way Americans shop is kind of different. Like, just semantically, there's some pretty big changes just between the two that I notice when I go to the States and see stuff. The second was that they were like, oh yeah, people will come here because it's a big name store. People will shop here. It doesn't matter how well we actually stock it. We just need to have a couple of things. So, like, some of the sections were like half empty in most of these fucking stores, and they were like, yeah, come down to Target. It'll be great. Come on down to Target, please, right now. Don't worry about the stuff that you came for isn't here. Buy something else. And so people very rapidly were like, let's not go to Target. Let's go to the Shell Shack. They've got a talking dog. And so we all did. We went to other places of business, mostly just local shit, or ironically Walmart, where, like, Canadian Walmart doesn't have the problem of, like, seeing strange creatures of, like, denizens of the strange depths of the dark abyss with Cthulhu that American Walmarts do, I think. What we've got is, like, just, they get robbed a lot. Like, every time I've walked into our local Walmart, there is some tweaker fucking sprinting out of there with an armload of whatever he could grab that wasn't nailed down.
What the fuck?
And, like, the people by the front of the store were like, he went that way! And the manager is like, oh, we know. That's the fourth one today. We're not running after that one. So, like, people were like, yeah, Target's clean and doesn't get robbed and is poorly stocked. But because it's poorly stocked, I think I'll go to the place where the drug addicts are robbing it all the time.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. If we get Zane on here, Zane went into not a big lecture, but he took a very in-depth look or comparison into Walmart versus Target. And I can tell you my response to it is, if one doesn't have it, I'll go to the other. And if the other doesn't have it, I guess I'll just order it online. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I went to Target yesterday to buy a book, which I'll get into in a few minutes. It's fine, but I go to Walmart too. Walmart's fine too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just considered lucky, but I hardly ever run into absolute bullshit out there. Like some people in this group who shall remain unnamed. It just seems like every time, well, not really. Every time they go out, well, a little bit. Every time they go out in public, they almost get into an accident.
No, you're talking about Russell.
Oh, I'm kind of talking about everybody. Because every time I get on the group chat, it's like, oh, I went to this restaurant. It's the worst food I've ever had. Oh, I was driving the road. I almost got into an accident. You almost got into an accident. This is the 5th time this week. I think you got to start taking some responsibility here. I don't know. I drive for a living. You know how many times I get into accidents? Only 2-3 times a year. Some people happens 2-3 times every 2 weeks. But I don't know. That's interesting to hear Target failed in Canada, but Walmart's doing fine.
Yeah, I don't think Walmart's doing like gangbusters or anything like that. I don't think it's incredibly profitable compared to how it is in the States, but it's successful enough that most of them are still open.
Well, hey, speaking of Canada, how about them Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, like that's an interesting one for me because that's where I'm from. I'm from both those cities, so it's really interesting to see the dynamic and the back and forth of stuff this year. I gotta ask you, because I don't think we actually covered this the last time we talked about this. Of the two, which one do you prefer?
Well, I like some guys on Edmonton. I love McDavid and Draisaitl and Dave Tippett. I don't like Mike Smith, but, you know, there's something about the Calgary Flames just falling apart that's just funny to me. So, if I had to choose one, I guess I'd choose Edmonton, but not gonna lie, I kind of like watching the best players in the league not get out of the first round and the league going crazy. It's a little funny, but I mean,
Yeah.
the Flames, come on, man. Ever since they won the cup in 85 or 84, they've made it past the second round twice. That's pretty sad.
Yeah, the time in the early 2000s when they managed to do that was like the hypest points that I can remember sports being in my childhood because I was living there at the time, and like people were like out in the streets like those people with the signs. They're like, the end of days is near, except they were like, the end of the drought is here, the
Dude.
Stanley Cup is coming home, boys.
I mean,
And then no, it didn't.
well, honestly, they probably should have, but that's another conversation for another day. Alex, you were here when the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl, right?
I think so.
Do you remember that time? Or not really?
Not much. No, not really.
Well, let me tell you, it was insane. Literally everybody was a Cardinals fan. I want to even say that our church service got canceled to watch the Super Bowl.
That's bandwagoners for you.
Yeah. Says the guy who doesn't hang out with us because he wants to play a video game that just came out.
But I hung out with you, so your point is null and void.
No, it's not. That one time when I said, hey, I got something to do. But there's another time where you're like, yeah, I'm going to play this game instead.
Yeah,
I'll
I
hang
was
out tomorrow
joking
night.
around with you, and you were like, oh,
No, you
okay,
weren't.
Okay,
No, there was
asshole.
another
asshole.
There was another
It's
time.
Not true.
It
It's
is.
not
It was.
true. Are you gonna
Dude.
throw the pen at me again?
I will, and I actually will throw it at you, and I won't feel sorry. There was one time where you said, I'm playing this game, I'll hang out tomorrow night. And I'm like, yeah, all right. But that was it. It was a one-time thing. I was upset. Not that much, because it's like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do
In the
about
5+ years that I've known you, every single time I've answered the call to hang out, and then the one time I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, not tonight. You're like, oh, I'm pissed off.
it. Don't scratch your crotch in front of me, please. And throw away your cherry 7-Up cans. Holy shit, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Oh, yeah, what?
7 cups, a
Yeah.
Whataburger, Starbucks. Bro,
Thanks
throw
for-
that shit away.
No, I'm gonna accrue more just to piss you off.
But how does that piss me off?
Because
It
you're
makes your
talking
room-
about it right now.
It makes your room look bad. Unless you're gonna edit this out.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
the
not
point?
gonna edit this out because I'm not a bitch. But your room is covered in a fucking inch layer of
I'm not
dust.
Alex Korn. I'm not a bitch. Also, Alex Korn. Why did I get canceled? I didn't do anything.
Shut up.
Now, to be fair, you did edit that last one.
Yeah, I did because I realized the error of my ways.
You realize, and it's not like I gave you 20 warnings throughout, and you're like, nah. And then after we're done, you're like, shit. Great. Awesome. But anyways, I do actually have a couple of...
The Lost Tapes. Delve into the dark secrets of America's favorite podcast.
We still have the lost episode from like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's like episode 15. When is that getting released?
Oh,
Let me guess. It's Silent Hill recording.
I could
It's
probably
gone.
pull it up right now.
Oh,
maybe.
really?
Yeah. Oh, really? Yes.
Well, I don't know. Why haven't you uploaded it?
Because
Because.
Wait.
Why? Give me a reason.
Korn and Kock 15, it's right there.
Okay, upload it.
No.
Why not? Then delete it. You're not gonna upload it. Get rid of it. Why keep it if you're not gonna do anything with it? We've been teasing the shit
Yeah, but-
out of the fans. If we're not gonna upload it,
So he
delete the
can-
thing.
So he could put it on a USB drive, leave it out on some public park bench with a suspicious label on it. Someone takes it home, starts to play it on their computer, And then there's a video of you and Alex popping up from a well in a black and white video. You slowly like scramble towards the screen, and then it says 7 days.
I was just say you're just reenacting. Are you reading the Wikipedia plot of The Grudge, or not The Grudge, The Ring? Because that's pretty good shit.
Yeah, I'm just repeating the plot of that, because it's the spooky month. It's
Oh, it is a
the
spooky
night
month.
before Halloween.
Oh yeah, I guess this technically counts as a Halloween episode.
Oh,
Unless...
now what?
It's beginning to look a lot like Scaresmas. Clowns in every house.
Oh my god.
They have taken your parents hostage and they're demanding $200.
Wow, Scaresmas. I never heard that before.
It's the nightmare before Broxmas.
Brock the Rock, Brock Rock. Well, in terms of Halloween, are you gonna dress up? Are we doing anything on Halloween?
I hope so. I love hanging out on Halloween.
I mean, me too. I just have a feeling nothing's gonna happen.
Ben's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm busy, man," and then
I think I'm watching movies with my roommates. By the sounds of things, last I talked with everybody, because I'm gonna be here when the Halloween candy is being handed out to the kids.
Kids.
I've got a Megazord costume that I'm gonna be wearing this year because I'm lazy, but not really lazy. I'm working 17 part-time jobs, so I didn't have time to make a new one this year. So I'm using the same one I did last year.
That's a lot of jobs.
Yep. Like, I'm basically teaching 5 classes for one place, 4 classes for another place, 6 classes at another place, and then I've got some other side gigs I've got going on where I'm doing some editing, I'm doing commissions like usual, and big news, KFX is coming back next year for 2022 in July, so after 2 years of hiatus, which is probably about the same amount of time since I was last on the show. We've got KFX coming back soon.
No, that was last year. You were on here last year.
That was the 3-hour podcast that we cut in half and uploaded in 2 parts.
Damn, it just feels like it was 2 years ago then. It's been a long while.
It
and
does.
I'm an insomniac, so everything feels doubly long because it's like I get 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night.
12 hours a night.
Well, it's okay because now every 5 podcasts you're the guest.
Hooray!
Unless Zane comes on, he's like, actually.
Does he want to come on? I haven't
I
heard
think he
anything.
does. I think he does.
That also requires him to be here.
That is true. That is
Or
true.
unless he calls in, but when we record...
during his class,
Well,
he's like, "Sorry, kids, I gotta be on Korn and Kock."
Well, not just... So when's he gonna come in?
I don't know.
We'd have to
wait till after 2, I guess. He'd have to postpone his visit to Press Coffee in order to...
Because we can't do 12:30 sharp. It'd have to be like 3:30 sharp.
To answer your question, yes, I am dressing up for Halloween. I'm gonna dress up as the Nostalgia Critic for the 2nd year in a row.
Boo! Come up with something new.
But that requires money and effort.
No, it doesn't. Get creative.
Oh, God.
Get creative.
Yeah, I'll shave my head and I'll be Jeff Bezos.
Stone, you should go as Angry Joe with him. You should go as Angry Joe.
And you'll be like, 4 hours!
What about, I have 2 things. I have one I want to do, but if I can't do it, I'm going to have a backup one.
Okay.
So, even if I told you one, you wouldn't know where it's from. So I'm going to keep it a surprise. The other one is so simple and dumb that it's kind of cute. And that's where I'll leave it.
You're gonna be wearing an "I'm with stupid" T-shirt.
And I'll have the arrow pointing up at me.
Up, but not.
Hey,
You're gonna put on a Hawaiian shirt and grow a blonde beard and dye your hair blonde and be like, "What's up, students? I'm Zane."
what's up? If you don't let me, I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
You gotta carry around. You gotta duct tape 6 copies of Halo 2 to your shirt,
And not let anybody.
just so people
borrow it.
really know.
Well,
Yes, I own 6 copies of the same game. No, I'm not gonna let you borrow one.
why would I do that? I know people who have 1 copy of something and they let me borrow it, but you have 7, and the answer is no. But that's not the point. We'll ask him about that when he comes on.
You little bastard, man.
Hey guys, I saw a tweet yesterday that made me think, and this is a hypothetical. I'm gonna shoot out to you guys. You give me your response.
Would you rather have dick-sized nipples or a nipple-sized dick?
Here's a tweet I saw. You ready, Brock?
Sure.
It's, my son bought a book at the Goodwill store for 50 cents. When he got home, he discovered $500 tucked into the pages. Of course, he's excited and wants to keep it, and then in parentheses, he's 30, I have no say. What would you do? And then the comments from the same person, the book was A Clockwork Orange, which I find very funny. Not the book, I've never read it, but the fact that it was A Clockwork Orange is kind of ironic. And the question is, what would you do if you discovered money in a book that you bought at Goodwill?
Keep it.
Yeah, like
where's the fucking
is it
mystery?
even a question? We're not Jeff Bezos here. We aren't going around tucking $500 into books. I would say whoever has $500 to tuck into a book that they forget about and donate to Goodwill probably isn't missing that $500. It's probably okay to keep the $500.
Yeah, because this isn't like you find $500 on the floor. That's one thing. It's tucked into
It's not like
the
finding
book.
a lost wallet.
Yeah, although some people would just take the cash and just throw the wallet on the ground and be like, "Hey, I just found some money," and there's like a wallet like on the ground.
No, I think that
is disappearing.
I think the thing that gets me is that it starts out with, I took my son to Goodwill. By the way, he's 30.
No, he didn't. That wasn't in the tweet. You're adding that. It said my son went to Goodwill, but he's 30. What 30-year-old man goes to Goodwill with his mom? Willingly.
I don't know.
Well, none. I think he just told her that. That's not even the point. If you're 10,
Well,
you're
I know that's
basically
not the
screwed.
point. I just think it's funny. I was like, oh, Mom, I got money at Goodwill. Oh,
That's
Mom,
not even the point of the tweet.
Mom, I just read a Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway, and there was 500 Bitcoin inside the fucking book.
So would you keep it or would you?
There was $500 and it was signed by Ernest Hemingway. It also had an author's note that he added that said, "I, Ernest Hemingway, hate women."
I earned this $500 that I'm putting into this book. But would you keep it or would you go back and?
Oh, I would
you know?
keep it.
Yeah, you read the comments and someone says something stupid. They say you go back and you give them the money. If nobody claims it within 30 days, then you get it.
With 30 days, that money's gonna be gone like the next 10 seconds.
But it's cash. It's not somebody's credit card or something like that. How
Yeah,
would you
like how do
find
you
out?
prove who owned it, where it came from? Anyone could just walk in and be like, I donated a copy of A Clockwork Orange here. I believe you've got something here for me. Like they stroll in like frickin' Captain Marvel in Endgame, being like, "Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me? Got my $500?
Dude, if you're
Got
in
my
a,
500, my 5 large?"
if you're in a room of crowded people and you say, "Hey, did anyone drop a $20 bill?" You'd probably get stabbed for that. So you're telling me if you tell, "Hey, did someone lose $500? Did someone misplace $500 for their wallet and put it into this book?" You don't think anyone's just gonna go, "Oh yeah, that's mine"? Okay, first of all, why'd you put it in the book? Second of all, how do we know? How do we know? So
It's also overlooking the possibility that potentially whoever put the $500 in there put it in there before donating it as like something as a surprise for somebody to find, like as a gesture of goodwill, you know? Like,
and that's the funny part of A Clockwork Orange. That's the book you'd put it in.
It's poetic.
yeah.
I don't know.
They're like, I want whatever sociopathic British person gets this to have $500 to put towards a set of matching bowler hats and bitch-looking outfits to share with their friends as they drive around in a dune buggy committing heinous crimes.
Speaking of bowler hats, Stone and I saw Primus last Monday.
Yeah, how was it?
It was really cool.
It was a great show.
It was a really nice show. I had lots of fun. Except for the fact that my back was horribly maimed.
Why was that again?
I think it's because I've spent a lot of time sitting down and drawing, like, in the past year. So my lower back just gets fucked up whenever I stand up for, like, way too long. Like, that pain was, like it was almost fucking unbearable.
It looked pretty bad. It happened during the encore. Like, he just...
No, I had to tap out at the last song. It was bullshit.
Yeah, well, the last song was a medley, so the last song was, like, 15
minutes, yeah.
15 to 20 minutes, but... They played A Farewell to Kings by Rush in its entirety. It was great. Their set list was great. My only major problem with Prima shows, and you saw it, they do these jam sessions, which are fine, but if you cut those out, you could have added 2 or 3 extra songs to the set list.
What do you mean jam sessions?
Like, it's just, the drums just doing a beat, and they're just jamming, making it up as they go.
They did that?
Yeah. They extended Tweakers, Pressman, Eclectic Electric, I'm sure, a few other ones, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but you could have added Mr. Crinkle to the set list where they had that bass. You could have added John the Fisherman and all that stuff. But other than that, great light show. The lasers were cool. The Rush set list was cool. And as you can tell, they messed up hardcore during A Farewell to Kings.
That was really funny.
And Les Claypool's a really cool guy, as you can tell. How many times did he say during the show? Quite a bit.
He was like, now I gotta tell you, all of you people who main Sora in Super Smash Brothers, I'm not proud of you. He said that. It's real. It's true.
Yeah.
He's like, I
also found $500 in a book at Goodwill. Just happened. Anyways.
And his mom came up on stage and said, "Now to the audience, I have no say. But if you found $500 in a book at Goodwill, what would you do?"
And you go, "Shut up, Mom!"
I mean, it's $500. What would you do if you found that? What would you do with that money?
What would I do with that money?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd use it for rent.
I'd go to Taco Bell first.
Taco Bell. Well, then what? You're not going to spend $500 at Taco Bell.
No, I'd spend like $10 at Taco Bell, and then I'd spend $4.90. I'd I don't know, put it in my pocket for a rainy day.
So you'd spend it? I'd save that shit. I'd take all of it and put it in my savings. Disappears. It's into the savings thing.
Yeah, well, Stone,
maybe I'll get lunch.
You're also the one who has like 8 piles of money in your room in different points for different things, which honestly is a pretty good idea. Mm-hmm. It's just a funny concept.
Well, not anymore, because in a couple days those piles are going to disappear because they're going to go to bills. The funny part is the change I have in my room. I have hundreds of dollars of change in my room.
Yeah, and it's covered under fucking layers of dust all around.
Yeah, whatever. You clean your desk off, then we'll talk.
You dust your room.
He turned his head around so... Nah, too late. You had your shot, I got my shot. We're even. He turned his head around so quick when I said that.
Brock, back me up here. Everything in Stone's room is covered in like a 5-inch layer of dust.
Brock hasn't seen it, so I don't know what you're...
Yes, he has. He's seen your drum covers.
Well, that's the drum set. You're talking about the room.
That's like half your room.
You're talking about the room, not the drums.
The drums don't look too dusty. It's not like a sandstorm emerges every time he hits the drums.
Hold on. I'm taking matters into my own hand.
Nope.
Well, Brock, what's been going on in your life? Got it.
Oh, it's been fairly steady. It's definitely been like a very eventful year, and I think one of the main reasons for that is that at the tail end of 2020, I was just wrapping up the last bits of paperwork and stuff I needed to do to get my degree. So I did finally get my BFA. I've got my multidisciplinary BFA in the fine arts, which is really cool. I then, like, midway through getting all that stuff wrapped up, I got a job where I was basically doing like 6 different things. I was the graphic designer, media designer, photographer, person doing the newsletter, doing interviews with exhibiting artists, and teaching classes for that institution. And then when summer rolled around, my contract changed so that I was just specifically being focused on doing the summer classes there because that was a full day thing. And that was really cool. Like, it was an awesome opportunity and stuff. But what ended up happening was when summer wrapped up, they didn't put me back into the position I was in before. They split the role up, so now there's like 3 different people doing like kind of part-time job things for the equivalent of what I was doing. Which, you know, kind of makes me sad a bit because I really enjoyed working there, even though it was kind of crazy busy sometimes with all the different things going on. But I am still teaching some classes there and stuff. It is still like a cool organization to be a part of, and I might be back in a different capacity later. But I will admit, it was a lot of stress with the way the contracts were set up, because essentially I was always working for the next renewal or extension of the contract, you know? Like, I didn't have the security of knowing that I would be there for sure in the following month. And what was too bad was when I was most confident that I was still going to be at that position, I was like, oh yeah, we had a great summer. We had a really profitable summer for this stuff. I'll definitely be back. It was like, oh, no, I guess I'm not. But I saved most of the money I made while I was working there, and I live with roommates. I live a really, really modest lifestyle. So, like, I could live off of savings for probably upwards of a year if I needed to, at the rate that my expenses cost. But with all of the upcoming classes and stuff that I'm teaching and stuff that's going on, I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to bring in enough that it's not going to be a case of, you know, really scrimping and saving. It'll just kind of be being reasonable, watching for opportunities as they come, and then, you know, planning accordingly. Especially since this will give me more time for other projects, getting ready for KFX, working on my comic, working on an upcoming OCT thing that me and Alex are running called Excalibur Experiment. And then the other thing that's been cool as a recent development is I got a 4-month exhibition of my artwork at a local art gallery, which is really cool. Like, that's a big long-term exhibition to snag, which was awesome. So basically, as soon as summer wrapped up, my exhibition started, and so it runs for 4 months. It runs from September till December.
That's cool. Well, you play Smash Ultimate, right?
I actually don't. I don't own a Switch.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about how you feel about Sora. Shoot.
Brock, do you want my Switch? I'm trying to sell my old one.
How much are you selling it for?
Considering it's like one of the original models. 200, but for you, I can make an exception at 150.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll buy that off you.
Hell yeah! I just found a buyer.
Wow, there you go. There you go. All right. Well,
All right, eat your heart out, Russell. This bastard was trying to sell my fucking Switch, and he was like, "Oh, I'll help you if you don't find a buyer." Well,
to be fair, you didn't do anything at all. Was this your first attempt?
To sell the Switch?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, then there you
Well,
go.
like, you just got the OLED like less than a week ago.
Well, I don't know. On Tuesday, was it Tuesday when me and Ben and Russell met up and got tacos? I got chips. Russell was saying how about like you were asking for help, and Russell's like, "Did you try to sell it?" And you said no, and I was kind of getting on Russell for like, why did you even get involved?
Well,
like he took your game hostage.
No, because I have to pay him back for the OLED. That's fine. That's completely different. Selling the fucking Switch, I was like, he's like, this is what he told me. Okay. I have a marketplace. Yeah, I own a marketplace. I'm Jeff Bezos.
What? We're talking about Russell, right?
Yes. He's like, I have a marketplace
I would gladly support a Russell-led Amazon competitor.
No, do not support that. Do not invest in a Russell marketplace.
He would sell only PS5s and Xbox Series X.
You want to talk about Jeff Bezos' terrible working conditions? You think Russell's would be any better? Holy crap, he'd probably have you stripped down to your underwear.
He'd have the whip and go, "Aye!"
Yeah, so I'd rather work for Bezos.
Chop, dig. I hear chopping, but I don't hear digging.
All right, no. So he has this marketplace at his work where him and his coworkers, they can put up shit that they don't use anymore and like sell it. Right? He told me that he sold his Switch on there for like $240, and I was like, "Oh, cool. Maybe someone else wants a Switch. Could you do that?" And he was like, Alex Korn.
Okay, time out. I see the problem.
And then, like, a week later, he was like, "I'm not helping you until you do it."
Hold on. I see the problem.
But then last night he came over.
Oh, he came over?
He came over,
Okay.
and he put a screen protector on my OLED, which was very nice of him. And we talked for a little bit, and then he took pictures of it, and he's like, I will help you if you can't find a buyer by Monday.
That's what it came down to. Is you have to try, then I'll help you do this. And if you don't do anything, I'm not just going to do it for you. That's what it was.
Well, I found a buyer, so...
Well, you still got to get the money. Brock could always be like, yeah, I'm out, fam.
Oh.
And then what are you going to do? You're 0 for 1. Monday.
Are you gonna fuck me, Brock? Are you gonna fuck me like that?
Monday. That's a terrible deadline.
Alex, I paid you like 8 months in advance for a commission once. We good, bro?
Well, no. You paid
Wow.
me. No, you paid me, and then I took 8 months for me to do it because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Difference.
I don't know, man.
That's the difference.
I don't know. I heard he paid you, then 8 months later he got his shit. That's a terrible working relationship. I remember one time. Remember when you drew the Rush Bauer drum logo?
Yeah.
And you didn't draw it for the longest time, and I said, if I don't get it by Friday, you're not getting this $20. And then magically, I got it.
Magically.
So when push comes to shove, yeah, then you get the job done. So, okay. You know why Russell did that? It's because Tuesday he was bitching about it. And I said, if we hang out on Friday and you two are still bitching about it, me and Zane are going to leave the room and hold the door, and you two are going to work it out. Or if not, then we'll just leave and call it, and then me, Zane, and Ben will hang out. Because I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this melodrama. And he's like, okay, not my fault. And then, so I'm glad he got it settled. He told me he talked to you, but I didn't know he came over in person. By the way, did you see his Instagram about his screen protector? And he's like,
how it broke, and then it's like, haha, just kidding.
It's like, come on, you're not 19 anymore. There's going to be an age where that is actually kind of weird. He's not there yet, because he still also looks like a 19-year-old, to be fair.
Damn, roasted.
Well, not really. I mean, trust me, there's going to be a time where you wish, man, I wish that people said I look like I'm 19. I'm starting to move into the next phase of my life where I don't look like I'm in high school. But I don't look like I'm a 37-year-old. You know, I'm still like in that middle area. Get off your phone. What are you doing?
Fucking around.
My phone's right there. I haven't gone on it once.
You did at the beginning. You played fucking Primus.
Yeah, and then what'd I do? I put it away.
No, you didn't. I can still
I mean,
see
you
it. If
did
it was
send me
away, I
that
couldn't see
photo
it.
that I
There's
just
nothing
responded
there. I'm not
lol
doing
to,
anything.
so-
Every time me and Brock start talking, you get your phone out. It's rude. It's rude. In fact, you know what? You're done. You can leave. Me and Brock will finish this episode. It'll be the Brock and Kock podcast, partial, because you were in the first 42 minutes.
Suck my balls.
Okay.
Hostile takeover.
Can I also get? I think this is such a stupid story, but it's so big. You hear about Tom Brady's 600th touchdown, right?
And his 600th makeout session with his kid.
Well, his kids aren't that old.
Jesus Christ.
Right. But he got the ball, or no, he threw the touchdown, but then his teammate gave the ball away to some fan. And the fan gave the ball back, and people are saying that he should have held on to the ball and got a bunch of money. So
I did hear about that. If I am being completely level with you,
okay.
I would have kept the ball, but I'm also a CFL fan. And CFL is a very different thing than the NFL.
Exactly.
In the CFL, you're just glad that the game resolves and that things go in a decently non-chaotic kind of order. Because the CFL has a bit of a problem. Most of the stadiums are open top, so there will be games played in the snow and in hailstorms and
Nice.
rain. So like, it's one of few sporting events where like my great aunt and uncle, they have like seasons passes to see the Stampeders, and they love it. That's their thing. They really enjoy it. But there's some games that I see, like when they're televised, I'm just like, oh, I would not pay the big bucks to sit through that in person.
I don't
Like,
get
I love the
that.
team, support our troops, but no, I would not sit in the middle of a blizzard to watch a very slow game of football where everyone's slipping and falling down in the snow and slowly developing hypothermia.
I know, like in Green Bay they do that. They'll go to football games outdoors when it's negative. It's in the negatives for a football game. That's insane. I don't get how people can do that. But the point is, even if the guy kept the ball, how much money do you think he's going to get?
For Tom Brady's 600th touchdown ball?
Mm-hmm. Like, come on. Don't tell me $10 million. He's not going to get that.
$500 and a copy of A Clockwork Orange.
Another $500 in the book. But what's funny
and
is...
the fan opened up the football and tucked inside the leather was $500 and a copy of A Clockwork Orange.
But what I don't get is everyone is getting on the organization. It's Tom Brady's ball. How come Tom Brady doesn't reach out to the guy? Right?
Tom Brady's too busy making out with his son.
Well, not for that ball. It's 600. You know he's the first to ever do that? That's a big deal. But anyways...
Oh, then that dude could definitely get like 10,000 from that ball.
But here's the funny part.
Easy.
Okay, like 10,000. What if he just buys drugs and then doesn't do anything? What if he invests it? People want him to do something fun with the money, right?
Well, fuck other people. It's his fucking ball.
You know what I wanted him to do? I wanted him to get $500,000 for it and then donate all of it to charity. And then watch the people go crazy.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That'd be really funny. But essentially, he gave the ball back.
Because, like, I think the funniest part, sorry to interrupt, but like the funniest part is like when you donate to charity and people get mad, it's like, can they really get mad? You're doing something altruistic. You're being a good person. So if you get mad at somebody for doing that, you're kind of a piece of shit. Because you're basically admitting...
Yeah, it's like...
You're basically admitting...
Basically, they're just like, I don't care about the orphans. I care about being right on Twitter. Give the money back. You know, like...
Exactly. It's like, what did you expect the guy to do? Go out and buy a Ferrari or something like that? It's his money. He can do whatever he wants. And it's his ball. He can hold on to it. He cannot give it back.
I've always wanted to buy a Burger King chain.
But you know,
please.
But here's the funny
Burger
part.
King franchise, please.
He gave the ball back. Brady himself even said he should have held on to the ball longer. He had all the leverage, but he gave it back. He got 1 Bitcoin share, $1,000 of team store credit, which is about 4 jerseys.
1 Bitcoin?
Yeah. 2 season tickets for this year and next year. A Mike Evans signed jersey, and then I think a football signed by Brady. I think.
But not that football.
Not that football. Touchdown number 198 or something like that. I don't know. No, that's not true. But I don't know. I think but also let's look at it from a pure side. What if he's a Brady fan and it's like, hey man, here you go. Yeah, money's money, but you know, this is a big deal for you. If you hate Tom Brady, I get that. If you hate Tom Brady...
Yeah, imagine if he was an away team fan, like he tears off the first layer of jersey and he's just like, ha.
Exactly.
I have deceived you, Tom Brady.
Yeah, if you
I
hate
have been
Brady.
sent as an agent of chaos to strip you of your 600th touchdown ball.
Yeah, like if you hate Brady, sure, hold out, ask for $1 million. But if you like the guy, why is this guy a bad guy or a villain because he was being nice and gave the ball back and took a discount? So Alex, my question to you is, because we've talked about it before.
Of course.
With Albert Pujols when
Yes.
he hit his 2000th RBI, and you're like, he hit the ball, I'm not going to give it back. You saw how much hate this guy got with Tom Brady.
No, for giving it back. No,
that guy held on to the ball.
You said I would have gotten shit for keeping the ball.
Yeah, and what'd that guy do? He kept the ball, got a bunch of shit, and he caved and he gave it back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I told you weren't listening because I did tell you that part. He got harassed, and then like 3-4 days later, he magically decided to give the ball back.
Wait, he gave the ball back, and then people were like, "Oh, dude, you gave the ball back, pussy." It's like
I don't know about that, but people stopped. But that was Albert Pujols in baseball. Nobody cares. This is Tom Brady. So do you think you could hold on to that ball and just get the constant? Hey, your Twitter page, say goodbye to that. You're going to get phone calls. People are going to find out where you live because you didn't do that. I don't think you could do that. I don't think anybody of us could do that.
No, I'd do it.
I would slip it under my shirt, tuck my shirt down into my pants, and cinch the belts as tight as possible. Button up my jacket, layers up over me, put the hood over, and then I would sprint the fuck out of that stadium.
Alex, here's what you do. You would say, I'm not giving the ball up.
Football players are agile. But football fans, that's a different story.
Well, absolutely.
Douse yourself in grease and escape.
Here's what you do, Alex. I'm not giving the ball
Run up
back.
to like the corn dog stand and dive into like some corn dog batter for extra slipperiness.
Here's what you do, Alex. You would hold on to the ball. I'm not giving it back. And then you get harassed hardcore. You'd go to the police. You know what the police would say?
Give the ball back.
You should probably give the ball back. That's Tom Brady's. And then you go, you're not going to help me? And they're going to go, no. In fact, you kind of deserve this. Didn't you expect this? And you go, oh.
No, I'm a Patriots fan. And then they fucking draw their guns on me.
No, they're going to go, where's your jersey? Take us to your house. Where's your jersey? And you're going to go, it's at the cleaners.
No. The cops say we're Patriots fans. And then they draw their guns at me. I don't say I'm a Patriots fan. I'm not a fucking Patriots fan.
Well, then they
I
go,
just take the ball because it's funny.
Yeah, they go, why'd you keep the ball then? Because it's funny.
What?
You don't want money for it? And you're going to go, well, I do want money. Then give the ball back. Well, hold on now.
Wait. Oh, I get 1 Bitcoin, and that fluctuates in price all the time. Oh, incredible.
I don't even know why the Bitcoin was added.
The police, they draw their guns, and when you're like, wait, are you guys Patriots fans? They go, lolly-loo-lay-lo, lolly-loo-lay-lo, and you're like, oh no, I'm in a Metal Gear game. Then Tom Brady cuts through the wall with his cyborg ninja sword, and he's like, yeah, you are. Now give me my fucking ball back.
Don't tell Zane.
Now, could you imagine if you got a call in the middle of the night and it was Tom Brady asking, hey,
He was like, hey, I'm in some hot water.
can you give me my ball back?
Dude, can you loan me like $20, please?
I'm in some hot water.
He's like, hey, dude, I don't have much time. I need $20 and a cigarette lighter.
I'm at 83rd Avenue and Thunderbird by the Dutch Bros.
Please come pick me up.
Or, hey, I heard you got my ball. Can I have it back? What's in it for me? Bitcoin.
I won't send my fans to kill you. So I'm gonna have to.
Is 83rd and Thunderbird a real street corner? Because that's a fucking awesome name for a street corner.
Yeah, 83rd and Thunderbird.
That's fucking lit, dude.
It's the sign of the only 24-hour Dutch Bros, which I will take exception to what I'm about to say. And I called Russell out on this, and Russell just laughed and accepted it. So I'll hang out with these guys on Friday night. It's like 11 o'clock. We're winding down. Zane's gone. And Alex and Russell look like they're about to fall asleep. They look like zombies. They look like Day of the Living Dead. Just, oh, I'm so tired. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty tired too. Hey, you guys want to go to 83rd Avenue and Thunderbird Dutch Bros, which is about 25-30 minutes away? And all of a sudden, they get all the energy in the world and can stay up another. They can run a marathon, which is 26.2 miles. But if there's no Dutch Bros, then they're out of it.
Thanks for the fun fact, Poindexter. Anyway.
Well, hey, I'm still calling you out. What happens? So we can't just hang out. I have to drive us over there? Because you never offer to drive. You never
I have driven.
Hey, yeah, once a month. You'll be like, hey, you guys want to go? Okay. And
Yeah,
then you say, hey, I offered.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I drive, I play that fucking song from Breath of the Wild, and you're like, oh, God, kill me.
That's the point. Whoever drives, you get to play the music.
You okay,
so
Brock?
explain that. You still with us?
Yeah, I'm all good. My lungs are shit.
Oh.
Alright, well, that's unfortunate.
I want to hear your explanation. Why is it you're dead tired, but when we offer to do this, and you get this energy burst, but literally with nothing else? Nothing else! There is no energy burst. Hey, wanna play some video games? No. Wanna do this? No. Wanna go to Dutch Bros? Yes! Why? And it's not just you, it's Russell. And Russell admitted to it, so you have to admit to it. I just want to hear why.
I don't have to admit anything.
Well, you know it's true, because every time...
Oh, I'm not saying it isn't true. I'm just saying I'm not admitting anything.
Well, you just admitted to it.
Fuck.
By not denying it, it's a yes or no question. If it's not no, then the answer is yes. Okay? That's the bottom line.
It's maybe. It's $500 in a copy of Clockwork Orange.
Did you find $500 in this book? I'm not going to answer that. The answer is yes! Why would you not answer it unless it's yes? But I just want to hear why. Tell me why.
Well, you're gonna sit here and fucking tell me, video games? Oh,
no, it's literally anything. It's only Dutch Bros.
You little bastard, man. Our entire hangouts are literally just us playing Smash Bros. For 4 hours straight until we get hungry or tired.
I know, and I try to change it up. And when we don't do that. We don't play sports. We don't go bowling. What? You can't just say
play sports.
Well, technically Zane did say that. But I would say, hey, you guys want to go shoot some hoops? You guys want to do this? It's like, well, we're not really the physical type. Well, then you can't sit here and complain we do the same thing, but when I try to offer, let's do something else, it's, oh, no, I don't want to do that. We don't normally do that. Well, then what gives? You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking about not going to Dutch and not doing Smash Bros. We'll do something else. We'll change it up. I think that's what we're going to do.
Thanks for reminding me about that, by the way, Stone, because I'm realizing that I need to go get my skates back and my hockey helmet back from my parents, because it's still with their stuff after I moved out. Because I have been waiting for the local ice rink to open up again, once, like the outdoor ice rink, once it gets cold enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's honestly one of the most fun things to do, as just like a outdoor activity thing, and it's right close to where I work too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that would be pretty fun to make more of a habit of getting back into. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to set up like a little archery target range in the yard of the place I'm renting. Like just something simple. And I'm going to get back into archery.
I didn't know you were into archery.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I used to do archery all the time for scouts and stuff like that. And then I just did it at a local range kind of thing once in a while, back when I was sort of like in my like early teens, preteens in there. But yeah, I was always big into javelin and archery stuff, like as far as sort of Olympic event kind of things go. And I was never like motivated enough to like make an athletic career out of it or anything. But what was nice about those is it was a type of sport where having fucked up lungs wasn't a huge issue. Because the issue a lot of sports have for me is that they are really dependent on sprinting one end of a thing to the other and back again repeatedly. And it's not that I can't run fast in short bursts of stuff. It's the sustained, like, medium level activity that really gets to me, and I'm just like, oh shit, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I get that. Well,
But, like, basic core training, weight training, archery, those sorts of things are fine because they aren't relying on, like, crazy levels of cardio.
Well, I'd like to tell you guys something funny. During the World Series, a pitcher had his leg broken by a line drive. Guy hit it off the bat, and it hit his leg, and it broke. And he stayed in the game, and he got the next 3 outs. How about
Damn.
that?
And then, in the outfield, as he slid to first base, he looked on the ground, he slid by a fucking book, and he saw the cover.
Hey, Clockwork Orange. Ooh, $500.
You
And
said
that pitcher was Albert Einstein.
Well, speaking of the World Series, it's tied at 1 apiece. Game 3's in Atlanta tonight.
Wait, who's in the World Series? The Giants and the...
No, the Braves and the Astros.
Oh, fuck.
People are taking crazy frickin' bets out on the Astros. Did you hear about that dude who's like bet 3.5 mil on the Astros to win?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but when they were in
cheat again.
when they were in the World Series 2 years ago, I heard someone bet like their business, which was like $5.6 million for them to win, and then they lost. And I'm just thinking to myself, why would you bet over $1 million? You have to be worth millions. If you have a net worth of $10 million, why would you bet over half of that?
Because people are stupid.
Well, if you got the money, then it's no problem.
Well, no, if you're a multimillionaire and you use $1 million and then you lose it, it's like it's like $100 to you.
Yeah.
But fucking, we don't have enough. We don't have enough food for the week, honey. I'm selling my business, so don't worry, we'll make it big. Don't worry. Yeah, that's usually not a good sign.
Yeah, seriously. And I think I read it was some mattress store salesman or mattress store.
He owns a mattress firm. He's like, oh, dude.
Okay, I don't get that. So
he's trying to flex on the My Pillow guy.
by the way, Cardinals lost last night. That was one of the worst endings to any game I've ever seen. And the Coyotes lost. Coyotes still don't have a win. They are 0-6-1. Out of 14 possible points, they have 1. That's bad.
That's math.
It's really, really bad. Because this isn't like... Sorry,
Do
what?
the Coyotes get more love now that they're the Arizona Coyotes instead of just the Phoenix Coyotes? Because I know there was the branding change there for that.
You know what,
But
Brock?
like,
Weren't the Coyotes a Canadian team at one point?
They were the Winnipeg Jets, and Brock, I'm so glad you brought that up. Did you become a Coyotes fan at Hawks when they rebranded Phoenix Coyotes to Arizona Coyotes?
Oh, dude, I was sold.
Exactly.
Day one.
I don't get that. Why do people think, oh, if we change the name from the city to the state, we're going to include all fans? So everyone in Snowflake, Miami, Winslow, Flagstaff, Tucson, Yuma, yeah, they're all fans. What, really? So if the Buffalo Bills were the New York Bills, would you get fans from all over New York, not just Buffalo? I don't get that.
all across the state, people answer the call. They raise their
They
raise their Arizona Coyotes flags from the top of Cocksucker Rock, from behind the teal arches of the teal McDonald's,
Boy,
from over in the fucking boomer resorts with their Traveland RVs.
you can tell Brock
Everyone
is a...
comes together and they help the Coyotes spirit bomb their opponent.
You can tell Brock is an OG fan because he made reference to Cocksucker Rock, to the Teal McDonald's.
That's all in one episode, though.
Well, yeah. How many people know that? How many people would hear Cocksucker Rock and they're like, "What is that? Did you listen to this podcast?" Yeah. Well, then you
Well,
you're
then you
not a
didn't
fan.
listen to it.
Well, then you're not a fan. Brock is a true fan. He might be the OG fan. Might be our #1 fan.
I know the deep lore. I should start like one of those Dark Souls analyzed channels, but it's like a Korn and Kock analyzed
Yeah, like the
channel.
hidden-
And like I have
the
that
hidden-
slow melancholy paced music where it's like, today we're going to be exploring one of the regions discussed in Korn and Kock lore, Cocksucker Rock. Let's dive in, starting with the history.
No, it'd be funnier if you were like a comprehensive Korn and Kock timeline. So you listen to every episode and you fucking like try to fit a timeline of events that we've talked about in the podcast.
Oh my god.
That would be funny, honestly. Like and actually like have it really cleanly like edited and graphic designed, so people are like, what's Korn and Kock? What's the timeline about? Like, I should make an iceberg video. Like, that's the thing now.
The Korn and Kock iceberg.
Oh my god. The Korn and Kock challenge.
Take the Korn and Kock challenge. Drive to Sedona, 568,486.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Here's the Korn and Kock challenge. Drive to Sedona and find Cocksucker Rock on your own without help.
557,467,000. Whatever.
Okay, well, let's move on to this next one. You know, you've heard me talk about House of Leaves.
Sure.
The book that Zane's reading. It's actually physically hard to read.
Why is it physically hard to read?
Oh, I wish I had the book with you. I'd totally show you. But
What?
it's, you open the pages, and no joke, there are pages where there's not only just 1 or 2 words on it. Like, it's just a blank page with one book, and it's all over the place. Then there are others where, if you're looking at the page, there'll be a square in the middle, and the words will be backwards. So you actually need to get a mirror to read it.
What the fuck?
And there are other pages where it's normal. There's a square where it's mirrored, and then on the side, you have to read it like this, and it's also mirrored.
Why?
I don't know. I gotta read the book. But
This is what happens when you let the writers out of AO3 and let them into the physical medium. They wreak havoc.
you know, you gotta give them credit because it's different, right?
Well, different doesn't always mean
Oh, totally. It's like the Da Vinci method,
Yeah.
right? Like Leonardo da Vinci inscribed his work journals and stuff with his writing backwards and in code because he was like, I don't want anybody reading my shit. It's mine.
Well, that's true. You gotta give a guy credit. It's definitely creative. It's not like it. But like I said, doesn't mean it's good. But also, Catcher in the Rye, just because it's famous, doesn't make it good. Just because something is well known, doesn't make it good.
Well, everybody knows our stance on that. Fucking kid goes to New York, sees fuck spray painted on the wall, and goes home. Yeah, incredible. Voice of a generation.
I can buy that, the voice of a generation. But what's the voice saying exactly?
Fuck.
Rebel? Yeah. Half of society is about rebelling. Catcher in the Rye is what made people go, oh, I get it. I don't know. For those of you out there who may not know, or if I haven't said it, I don't like Catcher in the Rye. Don't like it. I don't get the hype behind it. And maybe that's the point. Maybe I just don't get it. But no one has ever explained me what it is, including someone who teaches it. He tried to explain it to me, and I didn't get it. Right?
Yeah.
Did you read Catcher in the Rye for school?
No, I don't read.
Oh, God.
I don't read because I'm an illiterate shit.
Well, no, they usually do it for school.
Oh, no, I didn't read it in school.
Oh, you're so lucky. It's awful.
No, instead, my fucking teacher made us watch Back to the Future freshman year. That was fucking awesome.
But, wait, but you don't read, but you alone made a deal where if I got all the 900 Korok seeds, you'd read It by Stephen King.
Yeah, because it kind of interested me.
Well, then read it.
No.
What do you gotta wait? That doesn't make sense. If you have an interest in read it, and I'm looking at things that you read over there, and there might be comics, but you still have to do this and flip the pages and read, why not just do it? Why do you have to do it? You're taking the Russell method. Instead of just doing it, you have to lose a bet in order to do it. Why?
It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but after a while, something comes up where you're like, okay, this doesn't actually make any sense. Why? Why?
You're asking
know.
a lot of questions.
I know, and I'm not getting
I think
any
it's time
answers.
I think it's time to get another Cherry 7
I
Up.
feel like I'm talking to David Lynch. I'm asking questions, but I'm just getting...
David Lynch is fucking selling NFTs now.
Okay, what is that? I was going to ask you about that.
Oh, Alex, will you allow me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Boy.
You can explain it better than I can.
Alright.
Okay. So NFTs, essentially, so you know cryptocurrency, where people, like, they make tokens, and they're like, oh, this next cryptocurrency token's going to the moon! You need to invest now! And basically it's like, it's horoscopes for, you know, rich college, white guy, comp sci dudes to invest money into. And they're like, this one's really gonna get my life back on track. Essentially, NFTs are that, but with images attached to them, and oftentimes, not very good ones. Like, they're, like, edits of the same template, where it's like, oh yeah, these are the Funky Fox NFTs. This Funky Fox is smoking, and this Funky Fox is injecting black tar heroin into his arm, and this Funky Fox was blinded by shrapnel during his service in Vietnam. You know, like, they're all like edits of the same template for the same character thing. And so it's just as much a scam as crypto tokens are, because at any time the person funding it or like setting it up can like pump and dump the thing and take all their money in real money out of the token in exchange for it, and then leave everyone else holding the bag when the value of it dips into the negative, and all of a sudden their investment is worth like 300% less than when they started. So
Brock, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get any of that.
Okay, here's the TLDR. The too long didn't read. It's basically Dogecoin, but with pictures.
But what's Dogecoin?
Bitcoin.
And what is Bitcoin exactly? Like, I don't know anything about this stuff. So
I mean, I barely know.
Okay,
either.
so to put it in the simplest terms.
okay.
So, imagine instead of having money, right, like a physical $20 bill in your hand, you have a file that's part of like a cloud that a bunch of people can access under your name that says Stone has $20. But that $20 is like a stock on the stock market. So it can go up and down in value. So it might be worth $20 today, and if the value of that virtual currency goes down the next day, your $20 could be worth $18 or $10 or $5. But it could also jump up to be like $500. It could also jump up to be $21 million. And that's the thing, is it's so erratic and unpredictable that people tend to just jump on the bandwagons for these things just to be like, well, I don't want to miss out because maybe this will be the one that makes it big and turns my $10 into 10 million. Because Bitcoin started out being like something where, you know, people invested like 10 cents, and now 11 years later, they've got like 11 million out of it because the value of what that coin was worth jumped up so much. And to be completely honest with you, the whole thing's always kind of struck me as a bit of a scam because it's based around trusting the marketplace that sets the value of that stuff and on the people that regulate it to make sure that the prices are kept steady and safe and those things and regulated to make sure that it's not going out of control. But here's the thing. The appeal of it for people is that it's not regulated. So there's not anyone coming in and saying, whoa, let's course correct that. That seems sketchy. Let's step back, pump the brakes. We're not going to sell new stocks of this. There's nobody saying or doing that. So there's no referee on making sure that the thing's fair or running normally or making sure that people don't like lose their entire life savings on this thing. It's essentially the Wild West. And so the problem that you have is that for a lot of people, it's appealing that it's this unregulated thing. But for other people, it's something that they can exploit, where because it's this unregulated thing, they can go into your account and steal your Bitcoin. They can go into your account and like take it and use your identity and your Bitcoin wallet, your virtual wallet that it's stored in, to purchase things for themselves or like make you do incriminating things like, you know, going to the dark web and using your Bitcoin to hire a hitman or, you know, crazy shit like that. So the problem is that it's nice in some respects that it's, you know, oh, the government can't regulate it yet. I'm sure they'll try. But the bigger problem is not that the government can't regulate it, is that you can't regulate it either. Like, your Bitcoin is only as secure as it is this second, because it could be completely out of your hands and lost the next.
So basically, NFTs are like that, except they're pictures. But the funniest part is that you can just click on it, hit save image, and save it to your... The whole concept of it is that once there's an NFT, there's only one of them. Like, the concept is like, I purchased this NFT. This NFT is mine. Mm-hmm. And then someone just goes, save image. And they're like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, yeah, I fucking can. What are you going to do about it, idiot?
So David Lynch is now getting into this business.
So David Lynch basically took Blue Mountain, his TV show. He's putting episodes.
Blue Mountain?
Or isn't it like... No.
Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of Blue Mountain State, that fucking...
Or
that
Blue Velvet.
It's like a mix.
Goodbye Volcano High.
I'm sure there's Goodbye Volcano High NFTs.
But why is he getting into this business then?
Because he's an old eccentric filmmaker and he's probably fucking bored. Every single day he's like, it's a sunny day here in Los Angeles. Buckle up, because it might be dangerous on the roads. Okay, bye. And then he falls over.
He falls over. God, I don't get... Well, he did grow up in Philadelphia, so I guess I'll give him that. But I just don't like LA.
LA fucking sucks. And
Don't
so do NFTs.
I'm sure there are nice parts of LA. I'm sure there's nice parts in any city you ever go to in the country or the world, but
I love how quick you were to just like, all right, NFT talk over. Let's talk about Los Angeles.
I just don't get it. And also,
I mean, barely.
Yeah, it just sounds like, what's the point? Go out and just, what's wrong with cash?
Go out and just touch grass.
Go out and pick up some dog crap.
Go out and go to Goodwill.
Go out, pick up some dog crap, and get $1 from your neighbor, and there you go. Just save up from that. We have to do this thing that's money, but it's not really money. There are these images that you're not allowed to copy, but people still copy. I don't know. I don't get it.
Feel free to This pic goes hard. Feel free to screenshot.
This pic goes hard.
Yeah, I will toss in one last thing on the topic as an artist here. Crazy concept, but all of my art has physical line art of it when it's made. And if anyone's looking to buy real art to invest money in, and have it potentially appreciate in value, which art does, art increases in value over time, based on who produced it, who purchased it, and, you know, getting in on things while they are smaller to start with. The value of them grows over time. One of the things that NFTs are used for is money laundering, and that's something that fine art has been used for years too. That, like, you know, criminal organizations and the rich and famous and all sorts of people will be like, oh yeah, I don't have $2 million, I just have this painting here, oh, don't worry too much about that, and then they'll have spent $2 million on the painting and have a receipt for that, right? So that the next time that they go to sell it, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, 10 years ago I bought it for $2 million, now it must be worth $200 billion, you know? And so, to all the wealthy looking to smuggle money out there, buy my stuff.
It just doesn't make much sense to me. I don't get what the hype is. I still don't understand Bitcoin, and if it's digital money, then I'm out. I don't care for it. I don't want to learn about it. And if I was an eccentric filmmaker like David Lynch, I think I'd find other things to fill my time with than to get into NFT. One thing would be making YouTube videos, which he's already done that. But yeah, I don't get it, and I don't understand it. And at the end of the day, I don't want to understand it because I don't have an interest in it. So, anyways, you guys know what happened 92 years ago on this date?
No.
Oh?
Black Tuesday.
Dang.
That was the day that all the lights went out all at once.
It was the part of the beginning of the stock market crash, which led to the Great Depression. It was something like 16... Hold on, let me look it up. It said like 16 million or billion dollars were lost that day, which is incredible because then you got to think, what would that be in today's money?
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the exact days that these things happened, but I remember that they happened because my grandmother's parents got married on this day 92 years ago.
Wow.
And that when she went to her first day of school, World War II broke out.
So she couldn't catch a break.
No, she really couldn't. Yeah, I always find that interesting that, like, you know, the days that history tends to demarcate, like, unless they're, like, military victories and certain holidays and stuff like that, the bulk of the time it's, like, never forget Spooky Tuesday, never forget Horrible Wednesday, never forget the Thursday head smashed with sledgehammers massacre, you know? Like, that tends to be the dates that we remember for stuff, versus, like, no one's ever like, yeah, it's Puppy Friday, the day that the puppy factory, the gates opened, and all the puppies ran out into the streets, and everyone played with puppies, and it was great. And for a day, there was no war, all religions came together and sung a song of harmony. You know, like, no one ever talks about those.
Well, fair. You bring up a good point. Like, there's Black Monday, Black Tuesday, which, by the way, 16 million shares were sold. Or traded some 16 million shares, and billions of dollars were lost. But, I mean, yeah, it is a fair point. How come the worst events have, like, the big names? The Valentine's Day Massacre, Black Tuesday, Black Monday. How come there's no, like, Happy Thursday? Where on this day, on this Thursday, something happy happened. Why is it only the bad, negative, dark stuff can sometimes get the cool nicknames? I mean, what's going on? You've been quiet, Alex. What's up? You got anything to add to that, or you're sitting on your phone? You're literally holding it, and what's up?
So are you?
Hey, I'm holding it, talking about it.
I was gonna say, you know what I think would make a good holiday?
What?
John Malkovich smiled at a stranger day. Like, some person would just be like, John Malkovich smiled at me. And then someone at the government was like, all right, make it official. We're making a day of it. And then every day for the next 10 years, John Malkovich comes up on a stage on TV. He's got like the American flags blowing in the wind behind him, and he goes, "My fellow Americans, I, John Malkovich, would like to inaugurate and open the festivities for the 10th annual John Malkovich, that's me, Smiled at a Stranger Day. And I think that this holiday is just so wonderful. Smile at a stranger, that's what we do. We go around smiling at strangers today. John Malkovich smiled at a stranger day. Mark your calendars."
You know, that's not a bad John Malkovich.
John Malkovich, that's me, by the way. It's like, oh, I would have never have known.
Do you know John Malkovich made a movie that won't be released until 2115?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
Pretty epic, right?
We talked about
That'd
that.
be the kind of heist that I'd want to pull if I found out I was like living on borrowed time. I'd try to break into like the Nickelodeon time capsule or like John Malkovich's movie that no one will see for 100 years or something like that. That sort of shenanigans is what I'd pull. Maybe Area 51, but I feel like the military would probably shoot me very full of holes before I saw anything exciting. So I would need to kind of be pre-planning for that and like a Breaking Bad kind of thing. That needs to be a long-term diagnosis kind of thing where I get my house in order and, you know, make it so no one associated with me would be held accountable. And then I go like, "Jesse, we're gonna break into Area 51.
Jesse,
Help me get into my Pontiac Aztec and ram the gates, Jesse."
you know, can you imagine? I don't think there's anything at Area 51. I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions ever. But let's pretend someone successfully broke into Area 51 and they found nothing. What if you leave and tell people there's nothing there? Who's going to believe you? No one's going to believe you. They're going to go, "Oh,
you got brainwashed."
Based on what you're saying now, I think a couple people might. If that was your preconception and then someone told you that, you'd just be like, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying."
Honestly, yeah, but I think I'm in the so minority. I think not everyone, but I think a lot of people think something's going on in Area 51, and I don't think there is. I mean, okay, maybe they got some cool planes there or something like that, but there are no aliens in the basement. They're not working on cloaking or anything like that. And even if they were, you ever heard of Bob Lazar?
No.
He's a guy that claimed that worked there, and he went on Joe Rogan and said that they're working on, you know, alien spaceships down there, and they're trying to work on reverse technology or something like that. And you think to yourself, if that was true, wouldn't you think he would have accidentally died?
You think to yourself, why?
I don't know. Kind of like with JFK. The amount of witnesses that just happened to die within the 2 years after it, they say the odds are like in the trillions. All those key witnesses happened to pass away was almost impossible. In fact, I think it was impossible. So, you've been quiet over there.
I have a bit of a tie-in to the Area 51 thing, if you'll indulge me.
What do you got?
My Uncle Fred, my great-uncle Fred, worked for NASA. He did some of the doors and stuff on some of the shuttles, and, like, not pre-shuttles, like Saturn series rockets and stuff like that. And one of the things that I found really interesting was that he told my aunt, before I was born, because he'd passed away by the time I was around, because she was a big space person like I was as a kid. And so she would take me to science centers and stuff like that. And one time when we were there, she told me, "You know, your Uncle Fred swore us to secrecy about this, and he like wouldn't give us any of the details, but he said, like, when we asked him about Area 51 and NASA and aliens, he just said, you know, if I told you, they wouldn't let you walk around if I gave you the info that we have. I couldn't tell you because it would change the way you have to live in this world." And that always stuck with me, like, that it's not even that it's necessarily like aliens in the way we understand it, is that there's something out there that's on, like, some sort of information and intelligence where, like, whether that's in knowing it, you would be more heavily regulated and followed by the government or something like that? Or that, like, just mentally it'd blow your mind to a point where your ability to, like, lead an everyday life and not worry about big picture cosmic things would change. And that's always stuck with me, you know, because it's like, it's one of those, like, would you want to have the forbidden knowledge if it would mean you could never live a normal life kind of thing, you know?
That's easy. One of the easiest questions anyone can ask me is like, hey, this forbidden knowledge, would you want to know it? I'd say no, I'm good. I don't want to know. And then they go, why not?
Valid.
But then I thought, well, because A, no one will believe you, and then B, they might tell you, then you might know some secrets that only 10 people in the entire world know. So what do you think's going to happen? I'm going to mysteriously go missing and then drown in a pool, but there are going to be hand marks all over me, implying that I was, like, held down. But, okay, you know what? I'll throw a bone to the Area 51 people. Maybe there aren't aliens. Maybe they have some cool-looking gadgets where they can maybe see through people's clothes or stuff like that. So it's nothing... And it's not alien technology. They just created it. Maybe there's stuff like that there. I don't know. But even then, let's say you go over there and you find it and there's nothing there, and you come out and you say there's literally nothing in Area 51. No one's just going to believe you. People are going to believe what was it, your Uncle Fred? Was that his name?
Yeah.
I think people would rather listen to your Uncle Fred than someone who actually walked in and saw it and said, okay, I saw it, there's literally nothing there. People would go, no, I'm going to believe this other guy. And you're like, but I just went in there yesterday. There's nothing there. People don't even have iPhones in there. You know, something crazy like that. So
I think what would be interesting is, like, you said gadgets. Can you imagine you go down there, you sneak into Area 51, and down there, locked in a cell at the lowest level, the lowest sub-basement of Area 51, you hear a voice that goes, "Go, go, gadgets! Extend hand of friendship?" And it's Inspector Gadget. And you help him escape. And then you go on wacky adventures solving crimes and mysteries.
yeah, we haven't ruled that out.
And then you fart really loud, and he's like, "Go, go, gadget, get out of here."
Yeah, what if they had that gadget? They spray you, and every time you fart, you can actually see your fart fumes.
That's fucking foul.
It is.
They do have that. It's called a thermal camera.
No, I'm talking like I have a perfume, and I spray you, and then every time you fart, I can see it. What if that's the gadgets they have at Area 51? Stuff that we can't do anything with. What are we going to do with that? Pull a prank on somebody? Right before they go on a hot date, you just spray them?
Stinky.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I think it's blown out of proportion. But I would love to think they have the dumbest gadgets there. Like, I can't even think of anything right now. But just these stupid little things that they use around the headquarters. They're not even allowed to bring it home. I would just love to think that they created their own little stupid gizmos or whatever you want to call it.
They created the world's fastest remote control car, and now they don't want to share it with anyone.
They just go outside and just... And then it crashes. They're like, well, we still got to work on it. How come planes don't capture that when they take pictures over it? Oh, yeah, because it's so friggin' small. But either way, I do think it's funny that the government did not acknowledge that it existed until 2013. Which is how I feel about... Nah, you know, I'm not going to say it. I'll tell you when we stop recording.
The Arizona Suns? Were you going to say the Arizona Suns?
No, what's that? The Arizona Suns?
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you when we're not recording.
No, the Phoenix Suns.
No, I'll tell you when. I'll tell both of you when we're done recording.
Okay, sure.
So,
Okay.
The last thing I got is, I don't think I've watched any movie since Eight-Legged Freaks, and I was gonna watch something last night.
I saw the new Dune.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because my dad was watching it. And he was like, "Watch me."
Watch me. Don't watch the movie. Watch me
watching the film.
Yeah. Please tell me he actually said that.
No.
Watch me. And you're like, okay. Not even watching the screen.
And I watched it, and it was pretty good. It's way better than the old one. The old one fucking sucks balls, and I would never ever watch that boring piece of shit movie ever again.
That's not true.
It absolutely is.
I liked the old one. I like the part where they have spice and their eyes get blue, and then they ride the worm, and the worm goes across the wilderness, and it goes across the sand. That was cool.
I guess
Haven't seen the new one yet though.
I'll give the new one a shot eventually, but no, you'd watch the old one.
Fuck no.
You
Never
tell me
again.
the hottest chick in the
Never again.
world? That's
Never
not true.
Again. Never again.
It's not true.
Never again.
No one would feel sorry for you.
Never again.
I don't buy
I
it.
don't care if no one would feel sorry for me again.
I don't buy that.
I fell asleep through. I watched half of it anyway because I fell asleep halfway through. So it doesn't matter.
I'm just telling you, I don't buy that. I just don't. I don't buy that.
Well, that's good for you, Stone.
You know, I'm pretty sure dude. You saw the picture I sent of that guy of Carmelo Anthony about to dunk the ball. When your crush likes something, you magically have an interest in it too because you want to impress her. And you can be tough guy all you want. I don't buy it. I'm not knocking you. I'm knocking everybody, including myself. You look like you're about to fall asleep.
I'm a bit tired, yeah.
I'm probably gonna take a nap before we hang out tonight.
Depends.
On what?
On a few factors.
Such as?
You don't need to know.
Yeah, alright. Well, so I'm listening to Hesitation Marks by 9 Inch Nails today. What about you, Alex? You saw Dune. What are you listening to?
Oh my fucking god, it's Rush Jet 1 again.
Wow.
This motherfucker, every single time it's just Rush Jet 1. Intro, but I forget if it's for Mega Man, it's for Mega Man 5 remade Game Boy.
Well, Brock, what about you? What was the last movie you watched, and what are you currently listening to, song-wise?
What was the last movie I watched? I recently rewatched Amadeus, which is a really cool movie. I really enjoy it. And then in terms of what I've been listening to a lot of Enhato and Cytokine songs. Like there's this one album called Fant 3 that's neat. It's like people keep talking about this thing called The Caretaker, where it's like, oh yeah, it's an album made about dementia, and that makes me too sad because, you know, my grandfather passed away fairly recently from dementia and stuff. So the Fant 3 album is neat because it's another one of those narrative album kind of things. Like, it's a very long one, but it's very ambiguous with what it's about, so it's got like these very interesting emotional tracks and stuff in it, and it's mostly instrumental. But what's cool is the fact that, like, I've shown it to a couple different people and they've had different takes on it, so it's neat to just kind of like hear what people think about from it and then make little notes about that, because as a writer it's always fun to be like, oh neat, that's actually a fun little storytelling tidbit there that someone just sort of interpreted from that. I should hold on to that.
I wish David Lynch did that. Instead, he just goes, no, that's not what it's about. Well, what is it about? I'm not going to tell you. Okay.
Figure it out, dipshit.
I'd have more respect for him if he did that. No, bonehead. That's a poo-poo take. That's not what it's about.
That's a poo-poo take.
Instead of just...
It's not what it's about. Then what is it about? Oh, I'm not going to tell you. Fucking...
Yeah, okay. There's no talent in that. There really isn't. Anybody could make a video, and then when someone goes, what's it about? You go, I'm not telling you. There's no talent in that. And you're not a sign of an intellectual. You're kind of just being a jerk at that point, if I'm being honest. But I told you I bought Lost Highway on DVD. I don't know when. Almost watched it last night, but I didn't. Wasn't in the mood for it. I was going to watch Squid Games last night, but then I didn't. I was going to watch a movie, and then I didn't. So, I don't have any movies I watched.
And then you shitted and farted.
No, I actually read...
You read it.
Not read it, but I read. I don't even get Reddit.
Boo. Boo, Wendy Testerberger. Boo.
Well, I think we're getting to that magical time.
Abort mission! Sure. Korn and Kock rewind, play the clip. Here's Kock. That was a really cool clip. Thanks. Alright, I gotta remember it's like at 30.
Why aren't you
34
taking
minutes.
notes? Whoops.
There's fucking no point.
Well, yeah. There's no point. Oh shit! I wish I knew the time. Why don't you just write it
I
down?
just remember 1 hour 34 minutes. It's
Oh my
around
God.
there. Alright.
It's around there. Ballpark it. The captain will eyeball it.
The captain is going to eyeball it.
That's what you're gonna do.
It's funny.
The editor will ballpark it.
It's funny.
Oh, what was that guy? That YouTube name? I was gonna.
Internet historian.
Okay, I'm gonna type it into my search history so I can remember.
Oh, with the Costa Concordia one, I fucking love that. It's so funny.
46 minutes. Unbelievable.
It's like he made this very like. It's so funny. I mean, like the event is tragic, but you really think about it. If you were to hear all of those like events in a fucking documentary, you'd probably be like, it's kind of boring. But then you fucking watch that video and you're like, holy shit.
I mean, not. I didn't know the details. I do remember seeing the news of that ship just lying on its side like it just wanted to take a nap. But even reading the things, you're probably right. He did make it more interesting. But even the story itself is like, the captain just bailed? The crew just bailed? Why? That's sad, but it's also really funny at the same time because who does that? Who does that?
A pussy.
Exactly. Also, I always think this. You know when that guy's lawyer. You think he got the file and he's like, "You're gonna lose," but you're my lawyer. You abandoned the ship, dude, and your crew. There's nothing I can do. I can maybe get you 10 years, but you're not going to that party next year. You're not celebrating anything. Why not? You're my lawyer. Just because I'm your lawyer doesn't mean I'll win.
The funniest part is he's so fucking ugly. He's ugly as sin.
I mean, he's not the worst I've ever seen. Like
he's not okay. He's not like Igor, but he's not.
Igor.
He ain't no fucking Fabio either.
Fabio? Who's that?
He ain't no Arnold Schwarzenegger either.
Schwarzenegger's not really. He was never really that good looking. He's average at best at his peak.
I don't know, dude.
His muscles is what compensates.
His muscles.
If Schwarzenegger had your body,
That'd
he'd
be
be
fucking
fine.
funny.
He'd be fine.
Could you imagine that visual?
I am, and you know what it would be? He'd be fine.
He'd be like, get to the chopper. Go
Subscribe
now.
to my podcast.
Subscribe to my podcast. Go now.
That's what he would be saying.
Put that microphone down.
He takes out the Predator by bashing him over the head with a copy of Jordan Peterson's 10 Rules for Life.
Remember when we watched Predator?
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Fucking love Predator. Predator's great.
It's a really good movie.
He like bonks the Predator over the head and he's like, clean your room.
I remember last time we watched, or one of the times we watched it, it was when Eddie was visiting and he wouldn't shut the fuck up during it. So I was like, can you please stop talking so we can watch the movie? And he got really mad at me. And I think about that like on a daily basis and I feel kind of bad.
Yeah, why? It's Predator.
This is a good movie. I was interested in it.
Is
And
that-
Zane
wait,
was
wait.
like, dude, we gotta watch this as a bro movie. But the entire time, Eddie was talking about fucking something else. So I was like, are we gonna watch the movie or are we gonna talk about what you're talking about? We can't do both.
Was that your first time watching it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, that's kind of a crucial thing. Because I thought you'd already seen it before.
No, it was my first time seeing it.
So what did you say to him?
I was like, can you please, like, stop talking so we can watch the movie? I didn't, like, cuss at him or anything, but I was, like, very stern about it. And he, like, looked back at me for, like, a solid 10 seconds with that, like, really look. He got
Yeah.
up and he went to another room and we watched the rest of the movie. And he came back out when the movie was over. And I felt really bad about it.
I can't blame him, you know, especially if it's like, well, he was visiting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say, hey, you idiots can watch this movie when I'm not here. I'm here. We can't talk and hang out. You gotta watch this bro movie. By the way, it's not the most bro movie ever. Tropic Thunder is more of a bro movie than Predator. The only bro scene in that movie is the Dylan, and then they do that thing. That's it. That's the only bro part. Of that movie.
Dildo!
Yeah, so
Yeah, hilarious.
I kind of feel for Eddie there, but you know, It's what it is. That's. Can I be honest with you?
What?
Remember when we watched Elephant Man?
Yeah.
That was Zane's fault. He should have pulled the plug on that and said, we're not watching this. But instead, he thought it was a good idea to have you, me, Zane, Russell, and Chris.
Michael.
Oh, Michael was there?
Michael was there too.
Oh, I thought Chris was. What brain cell in your head told you, hey, this is a good idea? No one's gonna... This movie's not gonna get interrupted. I mean,
Yeah,
really?
That,
Come on.
that's his fault.
That's what I'm saying. There's no... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You should have known. You got the scouting report in front of you. And you still looked at it and were like, I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to go through with it because this is a good idea.
Zane Tipton is going to eyeball it.
Oh, God. If I titled this podcast, I'd definitely have something eyeball it.
Jeff Bezos is going to eyeball it.
He's going to eyeball minimum wage.
And then the thumbnail is gonna have the fucking guy from Clockwork Orange with his eyes like.
Well,
Jeff Bezos is going to eyeball the Goodwill.
Anyone will eyeball that $500 in that Clockwork Orange. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Neither have I. I haven't read the book either.
Stanley Kubrick fucking do a 127 take shot in that one too.
Probably.
I
don't know.
watched a bit of it when I was younger, but I was still living with my parents at that time, and I thought it was kind of. I don't know, like, I'm someone who's not put off by, like, sex and violence and stuff in movies, but, like, it just felt a little bit excessive for excessiveness' sake, and, like, it was neat to see where some of, like, the things that referenced from it and other things come from, but I didn't actually enjoy the movie itself all that much. I thought it was, like, a whole lot of show and not a lot of go.
Ooh, I like that. Next time I watch, when we watch one of the 3 David Lynch movies, I'm going to say that. What was it?
It was a whole lot of show and not a lot of go.
What does it even mean? What does it even mean? What does Catcher in the Rye mean? You don't get it.
Well, tonight
Okay.
Zane was like, we're watching A Straight Story.
Okay. For someone who's been forcing us to watch movies, he sure is taking his sweet-ass time doing it. That's not a threat. I'll thank him. I'll give him a hug tonight. And say thank you for forcing us to watch this movie so we can finally watch Mulholland Drive. And Inland Empire.
Alright, you guys can watch those. I think I'm tapping out after this one.
Watch Mulholland Drive, then tap out.
But fuck you!
Fuck you. But Mulholland Drive is actually one of his better reviewed movies.
Is it?
Yes. I heard about that movie when I was 10.
Is it?
Yeah, when did I hear Lost Highway? When I met Zane. When did I hear about Mulholland Drive? When I was 10. What does that tell you?
That Bill Pullman isn't that convincing of an actor.
He's alright.
I'm the President of the United States.
You're gonna watch Straight Story but bail on Mulholland Drive? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Also, if you're bailing, I'm bailing too. I'm not watching it with just Zane. We're watching it together, or none of us are.
That's funny.
So, really think about it. We'll talk about it.
You and Zane are holding hands in a dark room while you guys are watching Mulholland Drive.
Well, that's the other thing, is that would require me and Zane to watch it together, and not that I'm not for it.
And he leans over and he goes, dude, you're ruining the night.
It's like, I'm just sitting here. You're breathing too loud. Sorry.
Dude, you're breathing way too fucking loud. I can't hear the movie.
I can't hear the movie. When we put subtitles on, no, it ruins the movie
No,
experience.
because then you can't see the full picture. We're just shitting on Zane. Sorry, Zane.
No, I'm kind of shitting on David Lynch. Yeah, if you're bailing on Mulholland Drive, I'm bailing too. But Straight Story, really? The G-rated David Lynch movie, you'll watch that, but Mulholland Drive, you're bailing? Come on, man. It should be the other way around. You should bail on Straight Story, but come back and watch Mulholland Drive. Inland Empire, bail. I get it. Bail on that.
3 hours long and it's a one continuous shot. That's what I heard, isn't that?
No,
what
it's not. It's not one continuous shot. I heard it's like a 3-hour dream. So, expect a lot of shit that doesn't make any sense. Oh wait, that's any movie he's ever made except for Dune.
No, even then, he didn't explain it properly. Like, I had no idea what the fuck the plot was.
Sting was a bad guy, I know that. That one dude.
Yeah, that one dude. That one guy.
Well, I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Jeffrey in Blue Velvet. He was the good guy.
Paul.
Paul? That's not his name, is it?
Yeah, in Dune, his name's Paul.
Paul?
Yeah, Paul Atreides.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Paul Atreides.
You remember that?
No, because I watched the new one.
Oh, that's right.
Like 2 nights ago, so it's fresh in my mind.
I was gonna be like, for the guy who hates
the
movie.
It's so fucking... No, the remake was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I could actually tell what was going on. The old one was fucking horrible. And I know you like it, Brock, or you said that you enjoyed it, and nothing against you. I'm not saying anything about people who like it. I'm just saying that I think it's fucking poo-poo garbage.
That's fine.
That's fine,
What am I gonna do? Stop being friends with you because you don't like the funny worm movie? No.
No, well, no.
I like the new funny worm movie.
The funny worm movie's Tremors, but no, Brock will just not. He'll just be like, "Hey, I'm not coming on ever again."
Hey, by the way, show up to my convention. We'll shoot you.
Yeah, you're not invited to my convention anymore, bitch.
Bitch,
Don't put words in my mouth.
Hey, if you called him a bitch during that, I'd get it. I'd defend it.
What?
Are you making fun of him?
I was not making
On the
fun
note
of
of
him.
funny worm movies, though, you said Tremors. Tremors is fun.
Tremors is pretty good.
You attacked him, but then you said, "I'm not attacking people who don't
I
like
did not attack
Dune."
him. When did I attack him?
You said, "I'm not attacking people who don't like Dune, but I just hate Dune." Anyways, I'm not
Yeah,
attacking you.
so I didn't say
Alex?
anything about people. No, Stone. I wasn't saying anything about people who like
Alex,
Dune.
I'm
I was saying Dune.
I'm totally messing with you, and you just fell hook, line, and sinker. That was way too easy. I don't even feel good about that.
Gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep.
Brock didn't even fall for it.
You're a dick.
What did Brock do? Yeah, Tremors is a funny worm
No,
movie.
he's taking a fucking advantage of the fact that I'm a gullible bitch.
Well, you know it, so why don't you change it?
It's hard.
No,
when you
it's
have a
not.
gullible nature, it's difficult to change it.
Wait, that doesn't. You
I will
still have
stop
to try
being
it.
gullible. I will stop being gullible. Hey, dude, there's gold over them hills. Really? And then I go fucking.
Just
running.
because you have to try, you can't just admit defeat. Okay, put your phone down, or I'm not going to say anything until you put it down. Well, you can't check your Twitter updates when we're done recording. What are you doing? You get on your phone, check, and do with something with the podcast. Don't check it.
Okay, Dad.
Well, I'm just saying. You know how many times I looked over, you look like you're not even listening to what I'm saying? Quite a bit. And I got my feelings hurt. And I can't speak for Brock, but I think Brock has his feelings hurt because my feelings are hurt because of what you did.
Cry.
You know what? You're done. We'll finish the rest of this podcast, just the two of us. It'll be the Cock and Brock episode, but partially with you because you were in the first part.
Nice repetition of the exact same joke.
Well, you kept going. You kept going. You know, you kept going.
Mention a Clockwork Orange.
You kept going on your phone multiple times, so I'm gonna repeat the same joke multiple times.
I'm gonna buy 6 more 12-packs of Cherry 7-Up and leave all of the cans on my desk just to mess with you.
It's not messing with me. Because you know what I'll do? I'll just take, when you leave the room, I'll just take the cans and just put them all over the place. And then you're going to go, dude, don't do that. Well,
dude,
get rid of the ammo. You're putting ammo in front of me.
Dude.
You know what you're doing? You're going like this. Here, make fun of me. But don't make fun of me. Well, you just gave me this golden opportunity that I got from the hill across the street that you said something about. What am I supposed to do with it? You're not that gullible.
Dude.
You have your moments, but you're not that gullible.
Don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah. So if I were to message you tomorrow saying, "Hey, quarter girl's at my house," you'd shower.
I'd be like, "Oh."
You'd come over to my house. No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, "No, she's not." So you're not that gullible. In this moment, you were very gullible.
I don't know. What do you think, Brock?
I think that brisk raspberry iced tea is the most delicious iced tea ever made.
Fair.
I like the lemon one, but you know what? Raspberry's pretty good too.
Well, should we just go to 2 hours?
We got 11 minutes left.
Might as well.
fuck it, why not? We'll do that.
I like how the rewind the rewind used to be like a minute or two, and now the rewind is like 15 minutes.
At some point, I'm just gonna have the rewind right at the beginning, and the rest of the episode's gonna be the rewind.
Oh, that's a good idea. We'll call it the reverse episode. We'll end it how it usually starts, and we'll start it how it usually ends.
We'll speak completely in backwards.
In backwards?
No, say your name in backwards. Oibaf.
You should put, what's that video called?
I don't know what it's called. So,
Video's
Brock,
very
I don't
funny.
know, Brock, there's this video that Russell shows us every once in a while. It's this video from like 2012 of like this fucking Italian guy interviewing these Italian swimmers for the Olympics. And he's like, what is your name? Thomas. Oh no, it's like what is your name? What is your favorite color?
What is your coach's name?
What is your coach's name? Make an imitation of your coach. And it's like, it's just really funny because these guys are just at a pool. It's just like all candid. It's like not scripted at all. You could tell that like the guy was just like, please do this for me, for my YouTube channel.
The questions start out legit. And
Yeah,
then it just
goes like, The Simpsons or The Family Guy?
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's or Burger King? And like, it's like, there's one where he goes, do a scream, like scream, and the fucking guy goes, oh, like a manatee.
Can't wait to have that as a drop. Oh god.
So it's I don't know. If I can find a link, I will
Just ask Russell.
Yeah, I'll
I'm sure
send.
Russell saved it on his phone.
I'll send it to you, bro, because that shit is like really hilarious. But we have this one bit where we'd add shit to it. We'd be like, Pfizer or Moderna, or like
Johnson and Johnson.
the AstraZeneca or the Johnson and Johnson.
Mark Kelly, he just gets paid.
Mark Kelly or Christian Cinema.
Oh my god.
That fucking bitch Christian Cinema.
Bitch.
Do you remember those ads from like years ago where it's like, do you know what Christian Cinema did? That sucking fucking bitch Christian Cinema.
No, but I love the I don't even know if it's on anymore, but remember that
I was so trying to find the Mark Kelly got paid ads with the fucking dancing astronaut. You can't find them.
well, oh, you know what? Donald Trump's ad about like Joe Biden, how to recognize the zombie apocalypse. I don't know if it's there. Because if that video's gone, most likely that video's gone.
God, that was a blink and you'll miss it moment for sure.
Yeah, in the moment you're like, oh, this isn't going away. But now it's gone.
You're in luck, boys. I saved the Mark Kelly, he just gets paid.
No
ad.
fucking
There
way.
you go.
Brock, what the
No fucking way.
Let's go!
No fucking way.
He sent it!
Mark Kelly's trying to use his fame to get elected. He's already used his fame to get rich. From China, Kelly got paid to advise a company
my
partnered
God.
with China, mired in a global security threat. Another Kelly company took Chinese money, an undisclosed sum from a Chinese firm accused of espionage.
For those of
The
you
press
watching
warned
at
China
home, the
could be secretly
royalty-free
gathering
3D
information.
image of a
Use-
spaceman is dancing in front of
Oh,
royalty-free
oh,
backgrounds
Oh
of the
no.
Earth.
Oh,
Well, they say,
I'm
Mark
playing it.
Kelly,
I'm
he
playing
just
it.
gets paid.
They can hear it. I'm playing the video. Like I will play the video over this.
Dude.
Companies like Kelly's. Mark Kelly doesn't stop. He just gets paid. NRS is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, you have to make,
Oh my fucking god.
for the thumbnail,
It has to be the.
It has to be the
It has to
dancing
be the dancing astronaut in front of the Chinese flag.
But then you've got to make the astronaut Jeff Bezos.
That's a fucking.
that's a little funny.
And so then the background for this episode will be Les Claypool with this fucking weird thing and the bow.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be him in his bowler hat with his round fucking Heisenberg from Resident Evil 8 glasses.
God, I just saw a political ad against Mark Kelly. Where it's just like, blah, blah, blah. Mark Kelly was silent.
Thanks to Senator Mark Kelly's work, it's bustling here in the mornings. Have you seen that ad?
No.
Fuck, you're lucky.
I thought political ads only came about every 4 years during the election.
No, because it's like every 2 years they have the fucking smaller elections.
Oh, God.
And Mark Kelly needs to get paid, so he needs
Mark
more
Kelly.
ads.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's fucking horrible.
I've seen high school commercials better than this stuff. And these are people who probably went to college and got their master's degree. Just remember that.
Here's some insight into what graphic design and media design work is like, though. You can spend 5 years getting a degree in how to make all the assets yourself, and they will buy a program called Canva and tell you to make the assets using templates and royalty-free images in there yourself. And it will slowly erode your willingness to go on. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's just like, the issue is less to do with the competency of the designers and the animators usually, and a lot more to do with what the client says they want. I can guarantee you whoever commissioned this ad was like, yeah, dancing spaceman, make it happen.
That's what it is. I'm not knocking. In fact, ironically, the animation, looks fine. It's just you hire somebody. You go to somebody's house and you have a project, and you go and you sit down. You're like, all right. What would you like me to do? And they're like, we want a dancing astronaut. And you're like, okay, what ad is this for? May I ask? And they're like, it's against Mark Kelly. And you're like, what does a dancing astronaut exactly have to do with it?
He went to space.
I know. Why is it dancing?
Well, no, the dancing part's weird.
Yeah, that's the whole
fine.
point. Okay, have an astronaut just float like this. Why is it dancing and doing
Mark Kelly
this?
is T-posing in space.
That's what doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's an astronaut. He's an astronaut. Whatever. Why is it dancing? Are you making fun of astronauts? Are you making fun of him? What's going on here exactly?
What's going on, fellas?
So that's what it is. It's like someone who went to college for 7 years and had their dad pay for it said, I want a dancing astronaut in this political ad against someone.
The one problem, though, is that this ad, while it's the same type of ad as the one I'm talking about, at the end he's like, Mark Kelly doesn't care. He just gets paid. There's one where he goes, Mark Kelly got paid. And then the fucking, I swear to God, the astronaut's like spinning around on his helmet, like doing the fucking spinning breakdown.
I don't know. I never saw that.
Either that or he's still doing like the worm with his arms.
Exactly. So really, that's what it takes.
He's doing the fucking pop and lock.
Oh my God.
The Cabbage Patch.
Like, this is something you'd see like an 18-year-old do. Let's have a dancing astronaut just do whatever, because that's what the kids are into. A grown man, or worse, a conference room. A grown
Mark Kelly.
A conference room of grown men and women all agreed it should be a dancing astronaut.
That's a good idea. Send it.
Yeah, there's just so many things. It might be one of the worst ads I've ever seen. And by worst, I mean hilarious.
Well, it's bad, but you can have a good time watching it.
Well, it's like movies. You think of like Dune. Dune's a bad movie, like the 1984 one. And I'm not knocking the first or the remake. I haven't seen it. But with Dune, I couldn't even make fun of the movie. There's just nothing there. And the one thing I made fun of it, I can't even remember.
It was that the main character's name is Paul.
Well,
they're in a futuristic, they're in the year 10,000, and it's like, yeah, dude, the chosen one's name is Paul.
What was his father's name? Alfedador. What's his son's name? Paul. Yeah, okay.
Alfedador.
Where'd you get that name?
Alfredo cheese.
What was his brother's name? Greg. Well, why wasn't Greg the chosen one? Why was it Paul? I don't even know.
What's his son? Tanner.
But then you watch a movie like Leprechaun, Back in the Hood. That movie's bad, but it's hilarious to watch. Brock, have you ever seen Leprechaun 2, Back to the Hood?
Yeah, Leprechaun 2 in the Hood. That rocks. I love that one.
Oh, in the Hood.
I like the part where he gets up on stage and raps.
I love the part where he fucking stabs a dude in the chest with a bong.
Yeah, and the dude, he takes a hit and he's like, this is good shit. And then he stabs him. Jerk.
And he's like... he says some... Then the fucking little leprechaun says some ebonics and then leaves.
I'm trying to see. Right. You have 2 leprechauns, right?
You gave me those 2 leprechauns.
Yeah, but what are it was in the hood?
It's Back to the Hood and In the Hood.
There's In the Hood. Oh, it's right here.
In the Hood, and then there's Back to the Hood.
Is it In the Hood, Evil's in the house, and then Back to the Hood, Evil has a whole new rap.
Both of them are so bad, but I loved watching them. They were fun. They were really fun.
Remember when we tried to what is it? We were gonna record ourselves watching it, and then it didn't work.
Yeah.
But we could do the audio.
Yeah.
And that lasted told you, I don't know, a whole 5 minutes before we were like,
fuck this.
yeah, that was an idea we had. Did we ever talk about that?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I would like to try to get in the future, but if we can't do it, then we can't do it.
All right, we have less than a minute left. Rewind time. It's rewind time. So Mark Kelly got paid.
That's all you need to know.
Would you take $500? Yes. Jeff Bezos is a piece of shit. Black Tuesday. Don't buy NFTs. David Lynch is not an intellectual. We shit on Zane.
David Lynch is not an intellectual.
We had Brock coming back, and he's gonna be a recurring guest, so get used to him.
We had Tom Brady's 600th touchdown debate.
Brock, what do you have to say? You got 10 seconds.
Join the Excalibur Experiment OCT. See you at KFX 2022.
Sounds good.
That's pretty based. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.